Hey, you just missed an old freaking Honda. Geez, I'm blanking out. I've got 3 of those ads for sale right now. A Honda, not a Pilot. Is it a CRV? Or is it a Highlander? Jeez, I almost feel like cutting that out. Maybe I will cut that out. Anyway, yeah, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you, wherever the hell you are on this planet Earth. So, those are my loyal customers. Well, some of you are customers, actually, or were. Anyway, you should be now, if possible. Anyway, yeah, you probably saw the last video I did on this street here, Mountain Sites, but it was on the other side of those condos. So in other words, on the other side of the train tracks. And here I am days later, yes, on the corner of Mountain Sites in Vezina. Oh, it's a balmy 15, 16 degrees Celsius. It's clouded over a bit, unfortunately, but that's how she goes. And yeah, basically it's a continuation of that video. And hey, I got a friend who has one of those. Yeah. And so we're gonna just walk south here. I kind of planned it, which I don't usually do while doing these kind of videos, but yeah, here we are. We're walking southward here, and I'm probably gonna end up walking towards, holy cow, hang on a second, guys. Okay, I had to do a little rearrangements there in the old leather jacket pockets. I got too many things there. I got the phone, I got the headphones in there, gloves, skis. And yeah, it's this is pretty much how I think the whole street looks. Really is like these old homes, you know, like I said, blue collar, working class, you know. And again, I want to reiterate, hey, I'm not your typical person, you know. Who the hell else is gonna do walk-in videos of what's maybe a neighborhood like mine, which could be questionable? But I don't give a shit, man. I'm from the West Island, I'm from the burbs, I'm from middle class, but I'm poor as hell, man. Look at my clothes, for crying out loud. Do I look like I have any money? I'm not partial to anything, as long as there's not graffiti everywhere, and you know, it's and especially, no, actually, specifically, especially areas where it's just too modern and condos, like that part of this street on the other side of the tracks I filmed, and I had forgotten how it becomes all like condo, like for a block or two, and then it goes back to these old, you know, really old apartment buildings again, lower income class. And so I guess that's the, oh boy, there's an ice storm victim if I ever saw one. That's a shame, eh? That's too bad. Yeah, that's nice, nice touches, nice improvements there. So, you know, oh boy, there's another one. Shit, that's too bad. Look at that, number 2. Oof, man, oh man, this area must have been like NDG back in the day. Must have been trees and branches all over the street. 1990s Lincoln Lexus CS. I love how these are hard tops, no pillars around the doors. Circa, I don't know, 92 to I don't know, 98, something like that. And look, there's another one here. Holy schmoly. Geez, all that's gonna have to probably be cut down, I guess, eventually. I don't know, maybe not. It just doesn't look very good. You know, these exact type of houses also can be found in Ville Saint Laurent, which is just north of here. Probably could have been made by the same companies, I guess. So anyway, like I said, we're walking south here, and I think I'm probably going to do this video, a good walk here, a good 20-minute walk easily to Queen Mary Boulevard, where the street ends, which is fine by me because I love Queen Mary Boulevard. I love all streets and boulevards that are really in a hill, going up and down. Queen Mary, like Côte des Neiges, reminds me of Park Avenue, reminds me of San Francisco, streets like that. Of course, that being said, I was actually on Park Avenue briefly yesterday, and that does not, it does not look like San Francisco. But I like Park Avenue. So I don't know if that was a Lincoln or a Ford Expedition. They're the same thing pretty much. Well, at least there's some sun. It's a little bit weak, overcast there. Yeah. The only thing is, though, is that I just had a coffee, eh? So eventually I'm gonna have to, you know, I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know, some kind of health thing, eh? You know, this street, like a lot of streets in the city that are this old, you know, like 50s older, reminds me of my area, right? Very old buildings, everything's old. And there's tons of these old trees that have been around for decades. And especially in the summer months and like that, in fall, just the beauty the trees add to any area is fantastic. I mean, you know, again, you go to a place like a you know, like these places, like I said, I don't want to film anymore, like Griffintown, which I basically call condo land. Where's he gonna find trees? It'd be hard for us to find any trees practically, because it's well, let's be honest, it's all about profit. There's an old Saab there, rusted. Yeah, that's where it's gonna stay, in the driveway. It's probably where it's been living for months, because it's one of the worst cars I could ever buy. You'd be better off with this old Subaru here, this Outback. That's a good car. This I don't have to say if it's good or not, everybody knows that. Also this, I can't tell what it is from here. The Civic, well, of course, there's freaking thousands of these for sure. Back in the mid 2000s, this was late 2000s, these were the best selling cars in Quebec, and I'm sure way beyond that, even probably even Australia, you know. So it'd be nice if there was something as old, if not older, than that Lexus. That'd be cool, but I think it'd be hard pressed to find that, because nobody has a garage here. So this is the opposite of like Beaconsfield, for example. You know, huge spread, huge houses, garages, lots of land. I'm glad I picked this time to do this now, though, because if I did this a little bit later, it'd be a lot of people coming home from work and kids, and I don't like having too many people in the shot. You know, some people aren't comfortable with you know, being in a photo or video, and some people, of course, are out of their fucking mind completely, frankly, because they're assuming, and maybe it's because I'm a tall guy, I look like a cop, maybe I got the sunglasses. They can think whatever the hell they want to think. But if there's one thing I learned in life, more than ever, don't assume anything. Because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, which of course I mentioned before. It reminds you, that's from the comedy show Benny Hill. Oh, look at that, nice. I'll have to cross the street, get a look at that, get a gander at that baby, eh? Look at that, there's the equivalent of Nick's Ford Expedition, this Lincoln Navigator. Probably about the same years, I don't know, maybe 15 years old or so. Nice color, that's rare, that color. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, I know cars so well that I wouldn't be surprised if this truck actually is from the States, because in the States, people have more income, so they would spend more on colors, you know, different colors on cars, and here was often limited. See, there's a bunch of old people here. I'm just gonna avoid that altogether. Catch Mr. School bus driver here. We'll catch this nice old Acura TL here. I like these. These are getting rare. Hey, it's not rusted. Right on. Car is like 25 years old. Yeah, it's nice to see there's some people that still appreciate older cars and to keep them on the road, regardless of if they had to keep putting money into them mechanically, because the fact of the matter is, most of them, you know, when you're a certain age, those vehicles, they cost peanuts to insure. Like, look at this Dodge that's in front of me, you know what I mean? It's a work truck. What is it going to cost to insure? Peanuts. A new car, a new truck costs a fortune to insure, man. It's a fortune. So, and not only that, when it's new and modern, you got to be more careful, you know, and, you know, you got your depreciation value thing, you know. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a break here, actually, because that over there, that's fire station 4, I think. So I'm going to stop there a moment, see if I can get them responding, and then I will continue my walk there. You know, silly me, I actually forgot to mention, actually, that this is part of the Côte-des-Neiges borough, if you don't know this area. I'm acting like some of you, like everybody knows what it is, you know. Oh, but there's another one. It's just a perfect day. I really, you know, sincerely, at times like this, I feel bad for people who, you know, they have to work, you know what I mean? I love what I do, and you know, I really get by on fumes and all that, but again, it's everything comes at a price. So I like I made it before, I made a point how poor I am. You know, I don't come from a middle class area at all, even though it is changing slowly. Look at how bizarre, look how bizarre people are. Look how bizarre people are. Oh my God, I don't want to criticize, you know, but man, people are weird. Look at it, all of a sudden here. Okay, I don't like walking behind people, so we're gonna cross the street here where that nice looking old Charger is. Look, all of a sudden on this block here, everybody's got a freaking tent, or what we call it, a tempo tent. This is insanity. Why? Why do all these people have a tent and down there nobody had one? There was like 2 houses. So you explained to me, you know why? Because people are freaking sheep, that's why. And more than ever, compared to when I was younger or a kid, man, you know, when you're young, you want to be cool, you'll do whatever it takes. You go with your friends there, do this, that. I don't give a shit, man. I do what I want now. I think for myself. You don't like it, take off, too bad. You know what I mean? Same reason why sometimes I think I like to film these old neighborhoods. I don't care, man. I don't care what people think. You know, it's part of history. I'm a proud Montrealer, and I'd make a goddamn better mayor than that mayor we have right now. So, that being said, what's that? Is that an Insight? That's an Insight. That's a rare Honda electric. That's actually one of the first electric cars. I think it's or is it a Civic? Anyway, I'm too lazy to go check. Anyway, I just sold an ad today actually of an Insight. And you know, it's funny how the timing is for everything. You know, every time I perfected this whole selling vintage ads or whatever I have, you know, as I perfected as much as I can for a business to keep the money coming in. So whenever people are interested in something I have, I tell them, I write them, I said, check out my other items for combined shipping. I only charge $4. And so this guy today who contacted me for that, I don't know what it was, 1999, something like that, Honda Insight EV. I just listed this morning a beautiful 14 by 22 inch 1953 General Electric electricity ad. Ooh, that's bizarre. Was this thing a taxi before? Probably. So yeah, it's again, it's timing. Sales is really, of all the things you can do in life for bread, for income, it really is about timing. I know, I've been doing it for years, for doing my, hey look at this, actually says rad in that plate. That's rad. But yeah, no, seriously, timing is everything. But when it comes to sales, holy cow. I went, oh, there's another nice car. People got some good taste around here. I like these G35s. But yeah, because when I used to work at call centers and I did a lot of telemarketing, you could have one day you're flying high and the next day shot down, you can't sell a damn thing. Couldn't sell the shirt off your back. So, you know. Oh man, I hope I'm not covering the microphone too much. I've sort of like lost track of that, because the mouncrophone on this thing is just like a tiniest little hole. So, oh yeah, there's a useful sign. Yeah, did they mount that sign high enough? Who's going to be riding their bike looking up? Oh, look at the sign, it says we can go both ways on this street coming up here. Do I remember what street this is? No. That's fine. Well, we're going to see in a moment. Speaking of EVs, nice color though. It's a Chevrolet. Man, that even, you know what's funny? That truck is a car or whatever. It's brand new, and I could, not only did it look brand new, I even could smell it. I could actually smell that new interior smell. I don't know how the hell that's possible, considering the windows were all rolled up, but that's it. I got a big freaking nose, man, like an Italian, you know. Am I stereotyping, generalizing? Yes. Look, that Saturn has got no bumper in the back. Yeah. I remember I came walking down here though a couple of years ago, and I remember seeing a couple of older cars, not really old, but old, you know. That's got to be a school or a library. Something responding. Of course, I was on the carry earlier, filming some trucks, hoping for some response, emergency response, but I didn't get anything. So now I think we're coming up though to Côte Sainte Catherine. Yeah, so I didn't feel like waiting long by the fire station. Plus a little awkward to hang around there, because these firefighters are like literally sitting down in chairs in front of their trucks, in front of the open doors of the station. I'm like, I'm sure they've seen me before, you know. So and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, there's nowhere to go bathroom around there, so I'm like, we'll just press on and go all the way to Queen Mary. And look at this building, it's the Elizabeth building. Yeah. You know, actually for a moment I thought maybe actually that wasn't an ambulance. I was like, maybe that's actually a, you know, there's actually some alarms in buildings, they actually sound like that. They actually sound little Sebring. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, as much as Côte d'Ivoire is a very mixed type of people, you know, like melting pot, but there's actually a lot of Jewish people too. Like this building here is Jewish. I think this one is too. Yeah, I got a cross here. Ming, that's gonna be fun. It takes every kind of people to make the world about that. Like these people on my street there, now they're leaving their trash out all the time on the sidewalk, because I didn't mention it, because you know, I'm trying not to be as negative as I used to be. I'm still negative, but man, I mean, it really cheesed me off when I got that letter months ago, I think in November, and the city, they said, oh yeah, we're not doing garbage pickup anymore every week, now it's going to be every 2 weeks. So some people on my street and my neighbor, they're really pissed off. Like I even called the city. I was so pissed. And some people on my street, they just decided to put their trash out all the time. I'm not. I don't have. You know, I have some kind of class. There's some respect. So look at that. That's cool. Never noticed before. Look at that entrance. That's sweet. Love that. Man, you can see why they don't merely make buildings like that anymore. Look at all the curved bricks and everything. And that's a lot of work, man. That's got some serious exactitude than just a straight line. Anything curved costs. That's why a lot of this stuff is so cool. The old stuff. All the old stuff a lot of times is just cooler than ever, because the more curves, whatever it has, it doesn't matter if it's a building or a car or a train, it means it took more time to shape the metal that way, or wood or whatever, and it costs more money. So that's why you don't see that stuff anymore. That's why, like, these buses, for example, they're bread boxes, for crying out loud. That's just an example, you know. Oh, speaking of curves, look at that. That's cool. Ooh, bus medic. That's neat. Get out of the way here. We'll get out of the way. We'll get out of the way. That's also because, again, I really try not to show people on camera too much. You know, they get in the shot, whatever, you know. Fix it again Tuesday. Fix it again Thursday. Gotta start planning and thinking where I'm gonna actually do my business. You know what I was thinking about the Dupuis Street, Dupuis. I was thinking actually almost for a second of going to the Harveys and Tim Hortons on DeCarry. Of course, DeCarry is just 2 blocks where we were there, but now the door is locked because you know how it is with this city. I mean, there's so many people are homeless and they're drug addicts, so they're living in the freaking bathrooms practically. Yeah, it's just great. It's fantastic. And actually, I could probably think of a number of places like that where you could actually have been able before to just walk in, no problem, no questions asked. For example, the McDonald's on Notre Dame Street near Atwater. Same thing. Same thing. It is what it is. What it is, what it will be. Don't worry, just documenting. Oh, look, Nova Scotia. We're in French Nouvelle-Écosse. Takes every kind of people to make what life's about. And if you guess that's Robert Palmer who did that song, you are correct. Indeed, indeed. I got a spoiler on my Acura 4-door. It's sporty now. No, I'm just kidding. It's a cool car. Yeah, see what I mean? Jewish. I did actually almost thought for a moment several minutes ago to myself, oh, I hope I don't get any grief from anybody, because, well, you know, the Jewish folk, they're like Italians. They're known to can be pretty difficult at times, so, and paranoid for that matter. Like the time a few years ago, I was standing on the corner of Cavendish and Côte Saint Luc, and some nutty broad actually called the cops on me. Why? Wasn't doing anything. And they were like a young couple come out of the car. Hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, yeah, we got a call. Yeah, you're I don't know what the hell she thought it was gonna be a rob. So people are out of their mind, man. I'm telling you right now. I mean, mind you, if you're a Holocaust survivor or something like that, I can understand that. I had a customer once, she was a Holocaust survivor, sweetest woman in the world, and I could get that, because you know, when you're scarred for life, you're scarred for life. That's it. You know what I mean? Right? You know, for me, the thing that traumatized me the most, I think, in life, well, there's a few things, you know. First thing, of course, was when one of my best friend, actually, it'll be 30 years on May 11th that my great friend, one of my best friends, Mark Sege, took his own life. 30 years, man. And of course, there was the passing of my father. And then years after that, in 2009, I went through a bed bug problem. Thank God it nipped in the bud, but it was so horrible. You know what, as a matter of fact, I don't even want to talk about it, because then my first kitty died, which I never really brought it up. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's just so depressing. Look at that beautiful red roof on this Audi. Very nice. I bet it's a big sexy blonde who drives that. Oh, you want to talk about more generalizations? I'll give you another generalization. How many times have I seen a convertible driven by a blonde woman? Think about that. It's almost as if they grow up, they're blonde. Well, you got to be like a Barbie girl. That's it. You know. And now we are at La Combe. And of course, all these streets, they pretty much go up to Côte Boulevard. You can see though the houses, they're getting bigger. They're getting be more expensive. Yeah, and I'll probably never live in a house like that. However, that being said, I am working harder on my craft than ever. As a YouTuber, as an artist especially, to make a name for myself so that I become in demand. And I don't believe in political correctness, but sometimes something like YouTube becomes your work, you get income from it. Well, you know, you get more bees than honey with honey. But sometimes I do regret, unfortunately, I do look at a few videos now and then, people comment on that I did years ago, walking video or whatever, and yeah, I wish I had gave a damn more. I wish I had cared more about my own narration, what I'm talking about, because I would hear people complain for years. I'm like, oh, you don't like it? Too bad, go watch something else. But that's pretty unique. That's a bad attitude though, because I should have way more subs, way more subscribers, you know. Look at that, another major ice storm victim right there, eh? 1998, man. 1998, incredible, eh? It's almost, get 27 years right there, 27 years. All right, now, where are we at here? We're on a power walk here. We're not, no slouching or anything here. Right? We are at mountain sides. Hey, there's a nice old Chevy Astro there. Look at that. Looks in good shape. God, I can't believe it must be like 16, 17. I should take my coat off somewhere. Oh, Isabella. Yeah, man. Isabella, in that building, the tall building on the far left over there. I worked out of that building 25 years ago called Clean Sweepers Cleaning Company. Yeah. Look at this crazy shit. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. That looks dangerous, man. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. I'm crazy. And I'm also caca for Cocoa Puffs. I've only had 6 coffees today, by the way. Yeah, no problem. You could take that reef down there. We're getting closer to April. What is this guy following me there with his very Mustang looking taillights there? But I just walk in the street like this for a bit, eh? Wait, that's Isabella. What the hell is this street coming up here? I don't remember there being a street over here. Oh yeah, right. So yeah, we're almost finished the video, man. That's it, that's all. We're coming up to Queen Mary Boulevard because I recognize the that 2-floor commercial building there. That's where the I think it's a Metro supermarket. Probably, I think well, probably either a Dominion store before or Steinberg. I don't know. I mean, I may have a boomer mentality, but I didn't live in the glorious old days, the good old days there. And unfortunately, people who rent these cars out, this is a company that rents these cars out for people who occasionally drive cars. Unfortunately, a lot of them are bad drivers. It's almost as if they don't have driven enough to be really good drivers. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out, though, when I get here, where I am actually gonna go to John, because, yeah, I'm gonna have to think, something smells really inviting too, as well, I should say. That's for sure. Yeah. Billie Jean is not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. Gonna dance on the floor in your eyes. Yeah, I would listen to that in an 83 Buick Park Avenue, man. 2-door, 4-door, luxury all the way, 307 V8. Like the one I saw in the last one. The last ones I remember seeing out, still driven, was a taupe metallic color. It was very popular in those years, 83, 84, 85. Yeah. It's funny because I filmed a vintage Otis elevator out of that facing building there, which actually was revamped. So that's it, guys. So I always forget to mention it, but check out if you want to see a lot of exclusive content. Last 3 vlog videos I did were an hour long each. So a lot of walking in the city, some transit, maybe an elevator, basically almost what you watch, but exclusive to you guys, only in one video. So I do that every 2 weeks. It's $10 and change Canadian a month, cheaper in the US. Is this a 2-way street? I think it just screwed up, buddy. It's not a two-way street, buddy. It's a one-way there. Whatever. Anyway, so there you go, man. We're ending it there. See, like for example, there's a McDonald's over here, but once again, you can't go in there anymore. See, that's why I resent this city more than ever. You know, stuff like that, things that's changed for a negative. Or how about the bathroom that I had built in Snowden Metro Station next to the freaking McDonald's? And once again, they built it for nothing because nobody could use it because of all the homeless people and drug addicts. So we all pay the price. So that's the bad part about being a coffee drinker. And man, does it ever smell like something barbecuing here. It smells amazing. Oh my God, it smells too good actually. Steak. Like, holy cow. Gonna make me hungry. Scrap! There you go. There's your daily dose of scrap for you. Well, maybe not daily, but that's it, guys. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Be good. See you on the next one. And be safe. And always appreciate your positive and informative comments. Whether you're reminiscing, you lived here, or whatever, or anything at all. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.